Shalom, call Laimla Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Dash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well with hopeful lake. Sincere Shalom to the house of David, 1/3, 144,000 that's tuning in, pushing the truth with all truth and sincerity. And this lesson is going to be a breakdown of second Esdras chapter 11. And it's pretty much going into the Roman Empire, which was ruled by Esau. Edom started with Amalek and their evil reign upon the earth. Now I'm gonna just dive straight up into it. This is verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, and you know the Most High, all right, he was dealing with Esdras very, very heavily because Esdras saw a lot of prophecies, and I believe Esdras was around the time of Cyrus, all right, around 559 BC, all right. Then I saw a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feather wings and 3 heads. Now, the 12 feather wings is going into the 12 Caesars, all right? And the 3 heads is about the first triumvirate, which is in the 12 Caesars is Julius, Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero, Galba, Otho, if I'm pronouncing that right, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. And the first triumvirate is Julius Caesar, Crassus, and Pompey. And I got some Wikipedia on that right there, going into the 12 Caesars. All right. And then you got the first triumvirate, which is the 3 heads, which was Crassus, all right, Caesar, Julius Caesar, and the first Caesar, and Pompey. All right. Verse 2. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, right? And all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. So that's basically symbolizing how these Edomites subdued the earth, the known world at the time. And I beheld, and out of her feathers through there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small. So when you go into that, that's talking about Caesars that didn't have a big impact as the 12 and the 3 heads. And this is verse 4. But her heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. So the 3 heads that went to rest is basically talking about these Edomites that died, and the Most High still had plans for them, so they came back in the reincarnation to do their heinous acts. This is verse 5. Moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers and reigned upon earth, and over them that dwell therein. Again, Esau, Edom, having control over the planet Earth, which was promised to him by Isaac. Let's get into that, because only Esau and Jacob were given rulership over the earth, to rule over the earth. It was only Esau and Jacob. No other nation was given that decree. This is Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. All right, and by thy sword shalt thou live. So Esau was blessed with the sword to get to reign over the earth. And that's how the Roman Empire came into power. They had iron. They had nice iron weaponry, more sturdy, more powerful, more sharp military tacticians. All right, is verse 6. And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her, and no man spake against her, no, not one creature upon the earth. So is that literally saying that no nation plotted against Esau, Edom? No, that just means to their face, face to face, mano y mano. No nation pretty much win against the Roman Empire, man. Now, obviously, they had backdoor things, but they couldn't execute it because of Esau's power, his might. In verse 7, and I beheld, and lo, the eagle rose upon her talons, and spake to her feathers, saying, watch not all at once, sleep every one in his own place, and watch by course. But let the heads be preserved for the last. All right. And I beheld, and lo, the voice went not out of her heads, but from the midst of her body. And I renumbered her contrary feathers, and behold, there were 8 of them. All right. And the 8 contrary feathers are a part of that 12. And speaking about the body, when Esau ran um with the Greeks and the Romans, the Greeks were a monarchy, and the Roman Empire was a republic. So Esau has always kept his ways of, I guess you want to say, law and order. This is First Maccabees. I mean Salak. Yeah, First Maccabees. Man, I'm out of it. First Maccabees 8 and verse 15. Moreover, how they have made themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end that they might be well ordered. All right, so Esau has always been like this. This is verse verse 12, 2nd Esdras 11 and 12. And I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose one feather, and reigned over all the earth. And that first feather is going to Julius Caesar, man, because the term Caesar came from Julius Caesar. He was the first Caesar. And so it was that when it rained, the end of it came, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned, and had a great time. All right. And that next to reign was Augustus Caesar, man. Augustus Caesar reigned for, I believe, 45 years, around 45 years. And I think he was around the time with Yahweh Shah, man. Let's get that. I think it's Luke chapter 2. Luke chapter 2 and verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. So Esau had the authority to do these things, man, because it was a blessing from the Most High Himself. And even Amalek, man, calls the Romans Edomites when they're all Edomites, but it just shows you how these Edomites roll. In verse 14, 2nd Esdras 11 and 14. And it happened that when it rained, the end of it came also like as the first, so that it appeared no more. So Augustus Caesar was knocked off. Then came there a voice into it and said, hear thou hast borne rule over the earth so long. Yeah, 45 years, that's a long time. This I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more. There shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof. So every following Caesar would reign less than half of Augustus Caesar. Then arose the third, and that third was, I believe, Tiberius. And guess what? He ruled 22 years, man, which is just less than half. You see? That's how you know these scriptures is faithful and true. I'm going to reread verse 18. Then arose the third, which is Tiberius, and reigned as the other before, and appeared no more also. So went it with all the residue one after another, as that every one reigned, and then appeared no more. Then I beheld, and lo, in process of time, the feathers that followed stood up upon the right side, that they might rule also. And some of them ruled, but within a while they appeared no more. Then I beheld, and lo, in process of time, the feathers that followed stood up. Oh, Salaki already read that. Verse 21. For some of them were set up, but ruled not. And after this I looked, and behold, the 12 feathers appeared no more, nor the two little feathers. So this is going into another. You got the year of the four emperors and the Flavian dynasty pretty much coming up. Verse 23. And there was no more upon the eagle's body, but three heads that were, but three heads that rested, in six little wings. So you had six remaining Caesars and the three heads, which are being in the reincarnation. Then I saw also, then saw I, then Salaki, then saw I also that two little feathers divided themselves from the six and remained under the head that was upon the right side, for the four continue in their place, and that's going into the Flavian dynasty. All right, because with the Flavian dynasty, you had Vitellius, Otho, Vespasian. All right, Domitian, Titus. All right, that was all in the midst of that Flavian dynasty period. And mainly it was Titus, Domitian, and Vespasian. And Titus Domitian was Vespasian's two sons. Okay, now let's go to Second Peter. This is Second Peter 1 and 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Rakakwadash. So these scriptures isn't just some head canon, right? You know, and fictional. When you get into a lot of fiction, especially something that has like a good story or things involving power and fiction, people come up with their speculations and stuff like that, especially with like anime and comics. And there's a term called headcanon, which basically means you make something up in your head and you're saying that's fact. And that's not what these scriptures are. This is from the Most High Himself. This is from the Creator of everything that you know and can see, and things you can't even understand. All right. Let's go to Psalm 68 and 11. And it reads, the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh, gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. So great is King David, all right? Esdras, everybody that published the word was moved by the Heavenly Father, not themselves. All right, back to 2nd Esdras 11 and 25. And I beheld, and lo, the feathers that were under the wing thought to set up themselves and to have the rule. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but surely it appeared no more. So you had Galba. Galba ruled first, and he only ruled for about 7 months. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but surely appeared no more. And the second was sooner away than the first, and the second was Otho. He only ruled 3 months. All right. And I beheld, and lo, the two that remained thought also in themselves to reign. And when they so thought, behold, there awakened one of the heads that were at rest, namely it that was in the midst, for that was greater than the two other heads, and that was going to Vespasian, man. And then I saw that the two other heads were joined with it, and that's going into Titus and Domitian. And beheld, the heads was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the two feathers under the wing that would have reigned. So these Edomites were knocking each other off, man. All right, Vespasian was knocking dudes off. He killed Vitellius. All right, Vespasian killed Vitellius, and behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the two feathers under the wing that would have reigned. But this head put the whole earth in fear, and bare rule in it over all those that dwell upon the earth with much oppression. And it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that had been in Vespasian. That's under his reign was the 70 AD, man. 70 AD was the reason was because of Vespasian, pretty much, man. When Jake, the Ark of Titus, all right, and they got another Ark of Titus in Atlanta. And Ark of Titus, pretty much these Edomites gloating about conquering our people, specifically the Southern Kingdom, man. And the two little feathers mentioned in verse 22, all right. And after this I looked, and behold, the 12 feathers appeared no more, nor the two little feathers, that's Galba and Otho, because they got knocked off, man. All right, that's why they only ruled for a few months. All right, now let's go to verse, where was we? Verse 33. And after this I beheld, and lo, the heads that was in the mist suddenly appeared. The head that was in the mist suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings. And that's talking about Vespasian. He got knocked off too, man. He died. All right. But there remained the two heads, which also in the sword ruled upon the earth and over those that dwelled therein. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. And the left side is Titus, and Domitian is the right side. And Domitian killed Titus, all right, because these Edomites are slimy like that. So let's go to while that's doing that. I honestly didn't really plan on using the Wikipedia, but oh man, look at this. Now my thing lagging, bro. See, that's Satan right there, bro. Cause why the Wi-Fi messing up, man? That's Satan. Let's see if it's doing that over here. Yep, that's Satan. Cause the Wi-Fi on my phone is perfectly fine. I can do what I gotta do on my phone, but I think we back. I think we back to it now. Nope, nope. Yeah, that's Satan, man. But see, look at that. That's Satan. That's Esau Edom, and his left hand works blocking my video right now. You see, call line like Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. That never happens. Like it's only time something crazy like this happens is when I'm pushing the truth. When I'm making a video, it never happens when I'm just on my laptop. Never, never. It only happens when I'm making videos where it'll just start lagging like that for no reason. But let's get back to it. Now, this is the Curia Julia, which is a part of the Senate, all right? The Republic. This is like the House of, I think it's here in Babylon, the House of the Senate or something like that. I'm not too keen on that knowledge, but it's pretty much the same thing as this right here, right? Where the Senate has been meeting, right? Um, like I said, I wasn't really lined up to use the Wikipedia, just going off uh what I'm just off my head, and you can just look up the information, but we'll skim through it. So you had got Augustus Caesar right here. After the demise of the second triumvirate, Augustus restored the outward facade of the free republic with governmental power vested in the Roman Senate. Yeah, Augustus Caesar ruled 45 freaking years, man. That's a long time to be in authority, especially in a government where it's you being what is it voted into power. Imagine Donald Trump ruling for 45 years. And you got the year of four emperors. This is perfect right here. All right, we're gonna go back to Second Esdras. Um, First, let's get Second Esdras 12, and then we'll go back and we'll dive a bit more into, excuse me, into the uh, four emperors. And this is Second Esdras 12 and 28. For the sword of the one shall devour the other, but at the last shall he fall through the sword himself. And that's going to you fucking Edomites, man, being wicked as hell. All right? Backstabbing. Because you're the wicked. That's how the Most High created you. So the four emperors, all right? The year of the four emperors. The year of the four emperors was the first civil war of the Roman Empire, during which four emperors ruled in succession: Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and Vespasian. And remember, the Flavian dynasty is Titus, Domitian, and Vespasian. All right, they're all kin. During which four emperors ruled in succession. All right, I'm repeating myself: Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and Vespasian. It is considered an important interval marking the transition from the Julio-Claudians, the first emperor of the dynasty, to the Flavian dynasty, which is Titus, Domitian, and Vespasian. All right, and that's going into what we're reading right now in 2nd Ezra 11. And then you got the Flavian dynasty right here. The Flavian dynasty, Flavian means yellow or blonde, all right? So blonde hair. The Flavian dynasty ruled the Roman Empire between 69 to 96 AD, encompassing the reigns of Vespasian, right? And his two sons, Titus and Domitian. The Flavians rose to power during a civil war, right? Known as the what? Year of the four emperors. You see how the scriptures all line up, man? So let's go back to 2nd Ezra 11. Actually, let's go to let's get Luke 23. Luke 23 and 28. But Yahushua turned into them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. Why? 70 AD. The Most High Yahweh and Yahushua knew that 70 AD was coming. He knew that Jake was finna get jacked up. Vespasian was a general under Nero, all right? And Nero gave order in 61 AD to come after Judah. And let's go back to verse 29. And it reads, and when they so thought, and behold, there awaked one of the heads that were at rest. And that head was Julius Caesar, the reincarnation. Vespasian is Julius Caesar in the reincarnation. And Vespasian goes into Vespasia, which means wasp and wisdom. And those two heads is Vespasian's sons, all right? Like I mentioned before. No, where was we? Verse 36. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice into the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the high shall say unto thee. And it's going into Yahushua, man. Right? That lion. That line is going to Yahushua, which is connected to 2nd Esdras chapter 12. All right, which Lord's will, I'll dive into in a later video. Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I have made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. And that's you goddamn devils, man. And this is going into Esau Edom. Because Esau Edom is the wicked, and he's the only one of the two nations that was given rulership over the earth. For the earth has thou not judged with truth. You Edomites are low down dirty dogs. For thou hast afflicted the meek, and it's going specifically talking about Jake. Thou hast hurt the peaceable, Thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thou pride unto the mighty. The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled, and therefore appear no more. Thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for her judgment and mercy of him that made her. So you devils got taken down, and you had a Nerva. When it goes into the five good emperors, that's Nerva, all right, which was an Israelite, and that was going to, I believe, the Holy Roman Empire when Jake started to take over Europe. What we know now is Europe and Europe. I mean, Slovakia, Europe and Europe, Europe and Asia. And you devils, all you devils know how to do is rob, steal, kill, rape, rob, pillage, destroy, lie. Everything under the sun that's evil, you devils love it. You love doing it because the Most High created you to be that way, and there's no changing. That's why we're gonna have to exterminate you devils, because that's how the Most High had it set up from the beginning. From the beginning, you devils made to get waxed off. Let's go to Second Thessalonians chapter 2. And before I read this, with the Julio-Claudian dynasty, right before you go into the year for Emperors and Flavian dynasty, you had Augustus, who ruled 45 years, and Tiberius, who ruled 22 years, and Caligula, he ruled 5 years. Claudius ruled 10 years, and last but not least, before the year four emperors kicked off, you had Nero, who ruled 14 years. All right, and you gotta remember Vespasian was a general under Nero, and they was knocking heads off, man. You Edomites, and don't be surprised if Esau Edom, when these wars really kick off, there's assassinations and backstabbing and all that. We already know all these nations are going to turn on Babylon, but infighting in Babylon, a house divided shall not stand. Let's get that. This is Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Well, what was going on? A civil war, all right? Yeah, civil wars going on. It's you fucking devils, man. Being what the Most High created you to be, evil and wicked. Now, another thing, when you go into the Flavian dynasty, where it's talking about yellow or blonde hair, seer literally means hair or hairy. Let's get that. And just to make the point, Mount Seir is talking about you Edomites, all right? Seir is another name for you devils, hairy or shaggy, and that's what you Edomites are, man. You're not no clean cut people. That's how you go into wood woes, a wood woes, you know. That's talking about you devils that don't shave and live out in the wilderness. You start looking like Bigfoot. Don't be surprised if Bigfoot, the whole myth of Bigfoot was some 7 foot tall devil that went to the wilderness and then just never shaved and got super hairy. You just never know with these devils, man. Because you got the wood woes. When you look at Let's just go look at a wood roast real quick so you get what I'm saying. Wild man, right? It's not no mythical creature. This is you devils, man. Look at that. I guarantee you, you get certain of these devils, don't let them shave for a couple years, they'll look just like this. Hair all over their bodies. That's what you Edomites are. Just wait till you Edomites are we get to the kingdom of heaven with you goddamn devils, man. You gonna be looking what's that term? Hit. You gonna be looking hit, man. And all hit means is you looking rough. We ain't gonna let you devils look nice. We got some concubine Sheetamite women, have her all nice, clean, and soft, looking good. But outside of that, man, you devils is gonna be hurt. We gonna put you to we gonna really put that hammer on you because you haven't paid for everything that you done. You haven't paid for it. Yo, Tab. Let's get that with Cain. He said his punishment was too much for him to bear. Yo, Tab is too big for you to pay it off. Let's type this in right here. And you Edomites, your forefather is Cain, man. You go back to Cain. That mark of Cain was leprosy, which you fucking devils come out the womb with that. All right, if as long as you haven't mingled your seed among the other nations. Jake, this is Genesis 4:13, and Cain said unto Yahweh, "My punishment is greater than I can bear." And you devils' punishment is too much for you to bear, because you're gonna have to pay what you did for the Greeks. You're gonna have to pay what you did for the Romans, the British, the Americans, the Canadians, right? The Spaniards. You're gonna have to pay for all of that. And then after that, you getting waxed off, man. We gonna have a bonfire with you devils. Let's go to Obadiah. Obadiah 1 and 4. And it reads, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, all right? Just further confirmation, you with you devils. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So you devils, you ain't got nowhere to hide. You can't run. You can run. I'm not gonna say you can't run. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can not hide. We gonna find you devils. We gonna shackle you up. We gonna put your ass to work. Going to work, and your little smidget of rest on the Sabbath, you're gonna be recovering from them wounds. So your resting days is gonna be when you're recovering from the nasty wounds we're gonna put up on you devils. And that's it for this lesson. Lord's will was edifying. To the next time, Lord's will, shalom.